as well. Jack, what's up?
Hey, what's up, BN?
Chill. Yeah, listen, man, my boy's coming in with that CaptJack energy.
Of course.
Oh man, I love it. Listen, man. Hey, first and foremost, thank you so much for making some time and for being willing to come out and hang out with us live on the stream.
Hey, not a problem. Thanks for considering me.
That's right. Absolutely. So again, I guess I'm going to start similarly to I know how we did with Doom. I'm going to try and work in an Adi question as well for you, but we'll ease our way in there.
No.
Let me start.
Not the mercenary guy.
Yeah, your best buddy.
Oh, yeah, he's my best buddy.
So let me. Which, to be fair, he talks you up like all the time. Like anytime I see him,
I know he does.
Anytime I see him, like he again, only nice things to say. Loves playing there, regardless of how active or active he may be or not. I know he kind of flirts a little bit with the amount of activity, but I know he always has nice things to say, without a doubt.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, he has a lot of he has respect for the game. I have to give him that.
Yeah. No.
And he respects the fact that we've stayed true to our calling for how many gazillion seasons we've had so far. Other than BDO, I think. Well, no, I think there was there's one more other alliance that's original from day one. Besides us and BDO.
Oh my God, man, you might be you might be really testing my historical library archive here in my brain. Regino said FG could. RFF, I think was, well, it depends when. I don't think they've done a name change yet, because I know I remember Refund Family being there for a very long time. I mean, EIS did move. I guess technically, yeah. I guess technically, yeah, it would be EIS as well.
And you can't say DS because DS was not the same when we
That's true.
Defeated them.
Yeah.
Or when the whole betrayal with the
you know what I can do? I have my
with SEALs became MILF.
Yeah. I have my top kingdom list here. Let me see how far I can go back on this. Oh my God. Let me see, because I bet you if I can go back, I don't know if I have this saved. Okay, let me see if I have this archived maybe, because oh no, you know what? I can do it on alliances. Let me see. I bet you I can go all the way back on alliances and I can tell you. Oh, I can. Here we go. So here's some top alliances at the time for back in October. This is October 10th of 2022. So we got Brandy. Thank you so much for the sub. Appreciate you. So there's King. That was back server 1, right? So some of these are like the first couple servers. So there was King, PHL, GRD, which was Garuda. I don't know if they're still around, but I know they were for a while. There is NAS. There was EMP, if you remember them. They were in Kingdom 2.
Yeah.
But they're not around anymore. There was OO, which was Panda Hut. That was they were Kingdom 2. IMB was Kingdom 1. And then TA, which is now 30 NA, but they merged, right? I mean, you could still say some of their OGs are still playing since back then, but obviously not with the alliance attack. So GRZ actually might be it. GRZ would be one. They started out in Kingdom 2, unless it's a different GRZ now. But I know there's a GRZ currently. I just don't know what kingdom they're in. So yeah, maybe they are different. And there was ROG as well, but they were in Kingdom 3.
Yeah, I remember.
So I don't know if that's 110. I don't know if that's like Doom's ROG, if maybe they played there and they just moved. But yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, but I'm going way back. I mean, 31, 32, 30.
Oh, those ones. Let me see. Let me see what I got then for those.
What was the original, the original servers that started on day 1?
Yeah, hang on.
Season 1.
Oh, here we go. Okay, I got it. Okay, I found it. So I got this. So this is from June 10th of 2023. So this is about 2 years ago. Let me see here if I got this correct. Okay, actually, yeah. Let me go to June. Let me go to before June. Which January, February, March, April, May. So May. Let me do May. So in May and June, I'll read you from these for this month. So there was TATM, BDO. So BDO would be 1.
Right. They were 32 and they haven't left.
The GK, which is, but that was Ragnarok. So I guess maybe them, because they renamed to RK. So it could have just been, that could be 1. And then DNS, as you said, they were in 32. They're not there anymore. There was GOAT, GRZ, but this is Grim Reapers. I don't know if they're still active. BDL, that was Blood Legion. LN, the Legion. There was Gas, that was Kingdom of Animals. SN, Super Naughty. God, Holy Grails. EX, Exile, they're still active, so that would be another one. I just don't know what kingdom they were in, but I know they were from some of those younger kingdoms back then, like the 20s and 30s. So that'd be 1 with EX.
Well, yeah, SN, Jason, all those all started in 31.
Yeah. And then I have BXS on here, Uwu, P101, GG. They were 25 though. I think new GG now, and they were the Gladiator. So I think that's a different one, because the GG we know was in 68. And then there's 7 THD, EXV, GN22. Those are the ones I had for some of the ones on my list. Okay.
All right.
Man, you're taking me down memory lane with that one. Oh gosh.
Yeah.
That was good. That was good. Okay. Enough of the funny business. Let's get down to seriousness now.
All right. What do you want to shoot at?
So, first and foremost, for the peeps out there, can you please introduce yourself? Who are you? Where do you play? What's your position? What's your role? How long have you been where you're at?
Okay. I'm CaptJack. I'm from Server 31 or Kingdom 31 now. I originated in 31. POTC is the alliance I started on day 1 of this game, and been the R5 and now the king since we've gone to a kingdom based system. So yeah, since day 1, actually since beta, actually.
Okay, and did you start in 31?
Yes.
Okay. So let me. Okay, so no, man, I appreciate that. Let me ask, because this might be one of my first official times talking with you. So at least in this capacity, I guess I should probably say. So you start in 31. How did you get into COD?
Right.
Like, did a friend was playing? How did you get involved with the game?
Well, I was Rise of Kingdoms, one of the original 1050 over there. Played that for like, I don't know, 6-7 years. But it was losing its luster. And so I was looking for a new game, and I just happened to catch an advertisement about this game, and I kept following it a little bit. Then I saw beta, so I just happened to jump into the beta version of it, and 31 was one of the beta servers. And I liked what I was seeing. It completely different concept of fighting than Rock.
Okay.
It basically, I guess my analogy would be, it took Rock from like a 2D game to like a 3-dimensional game.
Okay.
So that's kind of like my short analogy. And
you're playing chess instead of checkers now?
Correct. So I just brought like 20 people from Rise of Kingdoms with me, and we just started going, and I ended up spending more time in COD than ROK, and I don't know, 6 months, a year later, I just basically walked away from, like a 200 million account, and I had like a 70 million trap account over there. I just walked away.
Okay. Which, I mean, to be fair, I wonder, I'm curious, was there anyone you knew that was playing Rock at the time that maybe would have liked to come over to COD, but just wasn't willing to part with the investment they made on their account? Because I've heard some stories about people like that, where it's like they would love to do nothing more than come over to play COD, but some of them just don't feel like they can let go of that financial investment that they've already put into Rock.
Yeah, there was a few of those.
Okay.
But and there was a few that came with me to COD that just eventually they ended up fading away. I mean, they just couldn't keep up a parallel universe between the two, and
Okay.
and then Rise of Kingdoms, kept on, adding more and more, and it just, eventually it's it's not a game for everybody. So I mean, to make the long haul, it's you're either in for it, and you have to have that the love for the game, regardless of you're free to play or an in between, or even you have a black card and money is no object. It takes a toll on all three.
Yeah.
I just find
I can imagine.
I just find the thrill of the game. I love the challenges. I like helping people, experience the game the way it's meant to be experienced, and that's my motivation. That's my drive.
Okay. Okay. So, I mean, obviously for yourself, you have been playing for a while. What are, and I guess I'm curious for you, what are some of the strengths or things that keep you playing COD compared to maybe going back to Rock or seeking something else? Like some things that really appeal to you.
Well, I liked it. I like they took the good elements from Rise of Kingdoms and they made them better. I know that they brought some things similar over there, but then they put that COD twist on it. Some worked out really well, and some of them crashed and burned. But I think, overall, the game experience, I think they're headed in the right direction. I get a lot more satisfaction playing this game than Rise of Kingdoms. It just was kind of stale, especially when you had the Kingdom Hoppers, and it just got really crazy and insane over there. Hopefully it doesn't happen here, but we've had some crazy, insane things here. But for the most part, I mean, the gaming experience has been relatively what I expect in a war game.
Okay.
And I played a million of them.
Okay, awesome. So let's get to your KvK at the moment. So
Okay.
you guys are in 4039. You are in the 6th strongest KvK group for Winners Upon Us amongst the Gen 2 Kingdom pool. At the moment, with what we know the matchups are, right, being 81 with DBB, 77 MFD, 31 POTC, you guys versus 297 SG97, 119 Law, and then 62 with FG. Can you walk me through the diplomacy process? How did diplomacy go for you? Again, was it pretty straightforward? Was it pretty easy? Was it pretty amicable? Does everyone feel satisfied? You feel like at the end, what are your interpretations? But can you maybe set the stage for us on how Diplo started and how did it go?
Well, this one was relatively seamless and happened extremely fast, almost like a snap of a finger. You playing the game as long as I have, and interacted with so many people, especially with so many of the players coming from 31 originally. So with ABBA, I've had a history with ABBA, and actually ABBA was piloting one of my accounts over here last season. So he spent the season with us last season. So when we just happened to, match make with MFD, it was like instantaneously, okay, that's right there's an alliance right there, and they already had an alliance with DBB, so that basically was that's how the three started. And I know there's FG and SG, I believe, are sister kingdoms, so that basically left the new laws or the spinoff of laws, basically left with FG and SG.
Okay. Now, let me ask, during KvK diplomacy, was everything kind of out in the open? Like, was everything publicly pretty much put out there and decided? Or, did some people kind of, okay. So you felt like everything was on the up and up?
Yeah. There was, the prep chat or whatever. So that was there. It was discussed just to make sure that, there was no, let's see, negative to the parent, the team up.
Okay.
So it seemed like it was straight. There was no disagreements or anything like that. So
okay. And your impression at the moment is everyone is satisfied currently in the KvK with how the teams played out and how things may or may not play out, obviously, throughout the season.
Yeah, so far I haven't seen any negativity.
Okay, awesome. Now, for your guys' zone 2, with you all, I believe you guys were going up against Kim or FG. That's their shell.
Oh, FG.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you guys go up against FG. Obviously, at least with where you're at now, FG was able to push you guys back to passes. I'm curious, what was the fighting like when it started, and as far as for you guys going in, did it feel like, okay, like we really have a shot here? Was it more of like, we're going in, we just need to get an objective, we'll dip out? What was kind of the general game plan, at least going in to zone 2, despite what the results are currently?
Well, we played against FG last season.
Okay.
And we had a long season with FG. And actually, they were the first alliance that actually chased us in zone 3.
Oh, okay.
So, I mean, we had like a 3-4, but yeah, we had like 3 days of the at the past 4, I believe, because it was the new map, the scenario 3 last season.
Oh,
so
for Rise of the Dragon?
Right, Rise of the Dragon. So we had like a 3-day battle there, and then they basically like literally just chased us through that whole zone, all the way up until like past 7. They basically ran out of resources, and I strategically put one bastion in a choke point, so they couldn't get past through that choke point to get through the one past 7. So the POTC territory stayed throughout the whole KvK. They did eventually get through past 7, and then we kind of got sandwiched. The other alliance, our second alliance, got sandwiched between them in the final zone. But that was already at the point when the fall, NA fell, we fell, YDB, and I think it was RRR. I think.
Oh yeah, it's like R squiggly RR, something like that.
Yes.
Okay.
So that they were with YDB. So yeah. But no. So we had a lot of experience with FG. So and they're just you have like NTS, has that reputation with their murder ball.
Yeah.
So FG is like, I mean, they just basically broke the game. I mean, nothing against like MM. They fought well against NA, but FG basically was just a machine. I've never seen gameplay, their strategy. So this zone 2 was a little bit different for us. We have really good trades against FG, like 2-1, 3-1, I think, last season. This season, our trades were still good, but we still have a whole season to go, so I can't say too much as far as our strategy goes. But our objective in Zone 2 was, to see if anything changed from them from last season to this season. And we were basically, we're just going to do a good, solid day 1, maybe 2 days of good fighting, and then prepare for Zone 3.
Okay.
So Zone 2 was really not a major objective for us.
Understood. So you feel, so Doom said this when I was just talking to him before you came in. I don't know if you had a chance to listen to any of that, but Doom stated that he felt similar in that sense, where it was, for him, it was like, all right, we're going to get in to Zone 2, we're going to get a rock, we're going to hold it, we're going to get the reward, and then if we're able to stay, great. If we get pushed out, that's fine too, but we're not going to overcommit. Do you find yourself with sharing any similarities along that same line for how you view Zone 2 for this map?
Yeah, I mean, I got a lot of respect for FG. So, it's just it's really going to come down to activity. I mean, they're in the hardest really thing here is strategy wise. Their uptime and our uptime are 2 different sides of the world. So,
Oh, really? Okay.
So that makes it a lot more difficult. So it's just trying to do that balance.
Yeah.
But they're resilient. They just they're really good at what they do. And just hopefully that we play a good game and have a good strategy, and hopefully we come on top this time.
Gotcha. No, man, I can only hope and obviously wish you guys the best on that one against them. Let me switch gears a little bit. So when it comes to your KvK prep with your team, I had asked Doom this as well, and I always love asking some of these questions to people that are leads of the alliances, or if you're someone who's in charge of doing any kind of war prep. What has been, I guess, for you, maybe since, obviously because you've been in 31 since inception, what are some things that you've learned through your time in KvKs when it comes to trying to get the most amount of engagement, the most amount of conversion from the everyday or the average player in your kingdom to actually go out and fight? Has it always been great? Was it something you had to work on? And if so, what are some things you learned through maybe some of those first KvKs to now?
Well, it's always a process. You got to try to keep your members engaged as much as possible. Because not always the devs give us enough, challenges and things to do to keep people, occupied and interest enough. And not always, there's the lag time sometimes between the PvP. I mean, everybody loves to fight, especially my team. We love to fight. No matter what the odds, we've always had a reputation of being fighters. So it's basically just you keep the motivation, keep the encouragement, One of my mottos is, battles are meant to be won and lost. It's the war that you want to win. So that's what we strive for. And you give it your best shot. And it's not always about winning. It's about having fun and enjoying the game, whether you win or lose. Of course, you want to win, but I always look at the leaderboard. I go, historically in the KvK, okay, we may not have won the KvK, but look at the leaderboard. We were, top 3 in merits against this caliber of alliances. I mean, that's a win for me. When you can compete at that level and be in the top 3 in earning merits, I mean, you did something. You guys all achieved something. We may not have walked away with the dragon or, be on a winning team, but you at least can walk away proud that you put that effort in. So that's basically what we try to, the leadership in me and stuff like that, try to keep that with our players and stuff like that, and keep that motivation and that enthusiasm to continue playing the game and get better.
Gotcha. Okay. No, man, I appreciate that. I'm curious. You said something there in your response where you were talking about your players and wanted to try and get the best for them. Do you feel over the seasons that the players in your kingdom, in the alliance, the people that are participating in the KvK, do you feel like there's more of a care or more of an emphasis or a priority even that they put on just wanting to have the most amount of PvP, the most amount of excitement and engagement in the season, or that to a point where they don't really care about who they team with? Like they absolutely don't care who the allies are with. It's just like their priority is how can we get the most amount of fighting? How can we have the most fun? And how can we enjoy as much of our time in the season as possible? Or do you notice, no, maybe there is some concern, maybe there is some worry or some pushback there? Where I guess what side of the fence do you feel like your players have fallen on, either throughout the seasons or even in any recent seasons where it's maybe a little more potent, it's a little more noticeable from you?
Well, it's funny you say that. You asked me that question.
Yeah, man, listen, I'm not just a pretty face.
It's because the first couple KvKs was basically us versus everybody else. So we never really had any allies in the first couple. I think the first 2 or 3. That was kind of hard, but I mean, it was fine. I mean, we were fine with it, and we gave it our best shot. And we get to the final zone. We were actually we were one flag away from the dragon, and that was against Kyle and his FSK and actually Laws and Dawn. In that particular KvK. So the last couple we've actually had some really good team ups. We had a great one with 57 NF57. We got Retribution on RFF that season. We had a great turn against NTS that season as well, and MM was also in there, and Jen. And then I would probably say, due to that season, that's why probably the bulk of the top players from Gen decided to join us this season. Bassie and his crew and Twix and everybody came over to Kingdom 31. So yeah, I mean, to get to your question is, yeah, I mean, they, like, Jack, we're going to have allies this time, or, we're just going to take on everybody. I'm like, no, we're going to have allies this time.
Like they're asking you based on what they've come to expect.
Right. So, I mean, the last couple seasons, yes, we've had some, 'cause we had that one where you had the matchmaking, and then they had the ranking system and stuff, but then you had some diplo in there. So that worked out, and we felt we had a really good, strong team and stuff like that, and it was it was a good it was a good KvK. Unfortunately, that towards the end, TC decided to leave the KvK in the final zone, so that basically left it a 3v2. So that was unfortunate that season. Otherwise, we had a good shot. And last season, same thing. We're all there, all around there, and MM and FG just, and RK. I got to give credit to RK because they came in through the back door, and so that was a tough one to lose that season too. But the matchups was on paper, and you were spot on with your numbers and stuff, and I mean, it was nip and tuck all the way until the end. This KvK looks good too, so excited to see what happens and how things unfold going forward. So, but yeah, we, as far as 31, we like the fighting. We just, that's what they want. Our crew, they're looking, when's the fight? When we're going to fight again? So.
No, man. Listen, I think I guess it's nice to. I guess in one angle of it, it kind of sucks to hear to a degree where, it's some of the players are like, oh yeah, we've just come to kind of expect that we're just gonna free for all echo style, just every KvK, or just maybe have some mismatches in that sense. Do you find that maybe the reason why that has happened to you guys maybe more often than not is just simply because of just the allies themselves not working out, those people just not wanting to team up? I guess what would you attribute it to on some of the challenges of just being able to find either good allies, or putting yourself in a position to be able to find good allies where you don't end up solo or kind of the odd man out? I guess, is there anything you've kind of learned along that way, along that journey, based on how many times you guys have?
Well, yeah, the first couple of KvKs obviously was new because it was new to the game, going to the rock style KvK matchup. So the devs, we're still trying to get the matchmaking set up right and so forth, and then the Diplo. So it was kind of rough in the beginning. There was a couple situations where there was some behind the scenes talk that was said, so that kind of derailed an alliance that we had. But it was fine. We still got the fights, we still had the things going forward. Now, as the game has gotten seasoned with these matchmakings, and I think the devs have really figured out the matchmaking, and it's coming out really good so far. At least the last two, at least that I've been involved with. I can't say all the other KvKs because I can look at the scans and the data, and but as far as 31 is, the last two KvKs or three have actually been really good matchups. And actually the Diplo this season and last season. I mean, we had a couple changes, and actually actually approached me. And they really wanted to have a good KvK. So they wanted the 3v3, but they wanted it as fair as possible. So yeah, there was talking back and forth and to get everything set so that everybody all felt that it was a good pairing or not pairing, the matchups for the 3v3 was agreed upon with everybody. So the last two, I mean, I think, you get these alliances that and leadership that value the gaming experience more than the greediness or the thrill for the win. I think those are the ones that I have a lot more respect for, and those are the ones that are keeping the game, going forward in that right direction and making things equal, to the best of their ability. I mean, you can only do so much when you only got 6 kingdoms in there, and you all have to agree or disagree. So it's coming to the compromise and what works best for everybody. Egos aside and stuff like that. Let's make it fun for everybody. So that's my experience so far.
Okay, got you. Well, so I'm curious on this. What has been so and it's always fascinates me when it comes down when we talk about things like kingdom management and really just how much time goes into just this aspect of the game that the people that are again as leads or R5s, R4s that are basically volunteering their time to put in. And sometimes sometimes I think about the fact that just the average player, and not to say that maybe they don't appreciate it, even though, again, we often hear, well, sometimes it can just be a thankless job. I'm curious from you. Can you walk me through your routine? So, like, when you first get on, what are you doing? How much time is it taking you to kind of get through each step until you get off for the night?
Oh wow. I mean, I basically
Just
live
that
on
response
Discord.
already is appropriate. Sorry, go ahead.
I mean, yeah, I'm literally on Discord constantly, all the time in the game.
But give me the best step by step you can. So you log in to the game, you log into Discord first. What do you do first, second, third, fourth? Like just to the best of your recollection. Like just try to walk me through like a standard typical day.
If I in game, the first thing when I log in, I'll check leader chat.
Okay.
See what's going on. Then I'll respond appropriately or whatever I need to do. And then I'll go to Alliance chat.
Okay.
And I'll let them know that I'm online.
Oh, I like that.
And then I'll probably
so you do that as a point of importance to like let people know, hey, you're here, you're available.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah, because everybody knows that they can always ping me in Discord, and I'll always respond. But yeah, it's always good to have visibility in the game. So yeah, I'll check officer chat, then make an announcement. Some saying in Alliance chat so that the crew knows I'm here. And then I'll probably quickly go through my like dailies and clear all my crap out of the way. Because I hate seeing all those little red numbers everywhere. So I'll clear all those out of the way. And then check some messages and stuff like that. But if there's other things going on, or usually I have in advance, I know what's going on via Discord. So usually I'll hop in and I'll have, an itinerary, objective what I'm getting on. But just if nothing's really going on, then that's what I'll do. I'll go through those two things first, and I'll start clearing my little red numbers on everything, items, alliance, campaign, my challenges, see where my troops are.
Okay.
See if I have any.
Okay, gotcha.
So that's pretty much
how about
my original.
How about things like meetings? Like, how often do you guys try to make an emphasis on doing management VCs? Do you guys do town halls internally? If so, like, how frequently? How productive do you find those to be?
Yeah, we do town halls, not as often as we would like.
Okay.
But the crew, we talk a lot in Discord, and we talk a lot in the game. So it's, sometimes a town hall between, with the crew and everybody is, not quite as pressing as needed based on our communication and stuff like between Discord and in the game chat.
Okay.
As far as leadership and stuff, I constantly talking all the time. And some of my top officers, I talk hours upon hours, VC, not bouncing things off, talking about here and there. So yeah, it's a constant daily thing.
Gotcha. Do you feel like you spend if you had to average, I'm just curious, if you had to average how many hours a day, non-war and then during KvK war, do you think you spend a day?
Ooh. I guess if the dev storyboard or whatever their story they do on an annual basis, usually there's any indication. So that's, I don't know, it's like 600-700 minutes a day. I think my longest was 23 hours and 43 minutes or something.
Damn. Okay. So I mean, and I ask that because to me, I think it's so important that people have a very realistic expectation on how much time is being spent in game, and whether that's in game or out of game, right? If it's something on Discord, etc., that management spends. Because to be fair, the average player is not necessarily going to spend that amount of time in game or doing something for the game throughout an entire period. And
right.
That's something, again, so I appreciate you sharing, because I love to talk about those things. I'd love to hear that, because for me, it's really about, how can we maybe get a little bit more, and I've said this in videos too, where it's like, look, man, the next time you see your lead, you see a member of management, just give them some love. Just say, look, man, I appreciate the work you do. I appreciate the effort and the time that you put in. Thank you so much for what you do for the Alliance. Like, it doesn't have to be super long. It can be something simple. Even if it's just, hey man, thank you for showing up today. Like, damn, that in and of itself could be argued to be an accomplishment. So,
right. Exactly.
Do you? So I'm curious. Have you noticed? Because obviously you've been in 31 since the beginning. have you had a lot of turnover? Right. Like, and then I'm curious, for some of the people that have been with you the longest, how long have they been with you? Like, for your management team, your R4s?
Probably I have a couple that been with me since season 1. I have players that's been with me since season 1. Leadership, I probably have. I'd probably say half of them have been at least, I don't know,
Okay.
maybe 7-10 seasons.
But still, that's really good. I mean, like, that could arguably, I mean, that is maybe better than most. I mean, I'd be curious if I had reached out to some of the alliances that are maybe still in their kingdom, or at least maybe have been there for multiple seasons, to ask, like, hey, how many people do you still have with you? Now, obviously, things can always change. IRL stuff can come up where people just have to maybe move away from the game. But I'm talking about like, in positions where people are there and they're still playing, but maybe they've moved on or they've opted to stay right in the alliance that they're in. But yeah, that actually sounds like really awesome to hear, that you guys have that you have noticed you have that many people that have still stuck with you on management, and that you've only had maybe about half, right, of people kind of getting burned out, or maybe you've had to think or look for replacements in that.
Yeah, or sometimes, yeah, some of them have either retired from the game. They just, they just, for whatever reason, some of them been real life issues. Some of them just no longer had the thrill of the game anymore,
Yeah.
and called it quits.
The mental capacity to keep going day after day.
And you get that with players and
Yeah.
stuff too. I mean, yeah, I typically, I would say I would lose probably maybe 10 good players a season,
Okay.
but I get 3 times that back. And then I get people that leave, they return. They say, "Jack, you know what? You were right. Can I come back? Will you still have me?" I'm like, "Sure. Well, once a pirate, always a pirate." So, I mean, heck, Siren, she's left. She's left like 3-4 times and always comes back.
Oh, I like Siren. I've talked to her a couple times. She's a good egg.
Yeah, she just, but she's a woman, and she's competitive, and she's sometimes, wants to go somewhere else and flaunt her stuff. So, I'm not going to take that away. I mean, it's, we provide an opportunity. So if you want to play and you want to have fun, enjoy the game, and that's what the pirate life is. Living in the Caribbean. So, but if you want to try an opportunity somewhere else, I'm not gonna hold you back. I wish you luck. But I always get, when the player does eventually leave the ship, 9 times out of 10, I get like a long, lengthy, heartfelt message that it was, a hard decision, and they enjoyed their time here and stuff like that, and they want to try something new, and that was it. So, I mean, for them to take the time to write something, that's more than just a few words or a sentence or two, that means I did my job. So, I wish them the best of luck wherever they end up going. And, if everything always comes full circle. So, it's the nature of the game. So,
Absolutely, man. Sometimes the grass ain't always greener, as they say. So
That's correct.
all right, fam. Listen, I'm going to open the floor up now. If anyone has a question for Jack, you are more than welcome to go ahead and ask it now. We got a few more minutes here with him until we get Wahiddle in here from Now EIS. And she is on standby at the moment. I did confirm with her that she is good and ready to go. But if anyone does have something that they'd like to ask Jack, just please feel free to post it in chat and we can read it off. Somebody did ask Jack, can we get your best R? Touche. That was good. Solid. I says Jack is a very solid dude. A lot of R5s will toss people aside when their value drops. Jack will keep them and try to give them another chance or help them. That was Iceman. Oh, here we go. House says, Jack, I have a question. What's your favorite drink? Even though he said, what's your favorite drunk? But drink.
My actual favorite drink would be called a rum runner. It's like
A rum runner.
it's basically like a Long Island version, but made with rum. So it's got like 5 different rums in it.
Okay. What is it made? Oh my God, what is this? Rums, liqueurs, juices, grenadine.
Well, there's a couple different versions.
Oh
but
yeah, I guess.
Basically the one you want is the one with the floater, which is 151.
Okay.
Not the Myers floater, but you want the 151, and it's got the blackberry brandy in it, the banana liqueur. Then you got your different rums in there, but the 151 floater is the one that makes the kicker.
Okay. Let me see. Another question for you. Who is better to tell a story, Ricky Bobby or Adi?
Oh my God. Well, now you're on both ends of the spectrum.
That was Ice.
Yeah, Ice man. Yeah, Ice was with me for a long, long time, and he's doing well. He's doing well. Yeah, Adi. I mean, he's got heart. He's always entertaining when he hops into the VC. And Ricky Bobby, he's just like Ricky Bobby from Talladega Nights. I mean, I'm just waiting for him to pop in there, screaming he's on fire. Help me, Tom Cruise.
Yeah. No, absolutely. All right, let me see if I have any favorite truck. There you go. Let me see here. Booze. This is no question. Okay, here we go. So Lad asked you, who's your favorite March combo? And then we'll wrap up.
My favorite March combo?
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, I love my calves. I love the archers, and I love infantry. I guess which gives me probably I'm actually digging the 2 new cav heroes. So I'm gonna have to say those 2. The 2 new cav. I don't know. I just have fun with calves. I mean, they've done so much different with the game, and they're just it's just a different play. Than the grind with an infantry, or the kind of kick back and stay in the safe zone with a mage or an archer. But I do love my Mag Zay too. Mag Zay is good too.
Well, there we go. All right. Well, Jack, man, listen, I'm going to go ahead and end it out. But man, listen, I really appreciate you making some time for me today. It was an absolute
No problem.
blast.
Thanks for having me.
Of course, nah, man. Always more than welcome, man. Thank you so much for the time, and I hope you have a good rest of the day.
All right, you too.
Oh, sorry. Before I let you go, any shout outs, declarations, shots you want to fire at people? Go.
No, now you put me on a spot.
Oh, no.
I don't have one off the top of my head. Sorry.
Okay. In that case, anyone who's not a pirate sucks. All right. Good note to leave on.
There you go, Al.
All right, Jack. Well, I'll leave you to it, man. Again, thanks so much for taking some time out with us, and I hope you have a good one.
All right, you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye.